everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Happy New Year, everybody. In today's late season matchup, we have two teams who have victory on their minds. It's the Falcons going up against the Panthers. So for the call of this week's 17 matchup, let's send it out to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
They'll run it here. This is Antonio Andrews. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
It should go without saying that anytime you run the football well and gain a nice chunk of yardage, that means the offensive line did their job and did it really well. But let's give them a little more credit than that, because all week long, offensive line meetings, they're going over adjustments, counters, line shifts, all those things that go.
Looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Oh, Brandon, this one hurts my heart as a former defensive back. Out in the open field, you've got a chance to get down this receiver. Instead, he breaks through you. You'll hear about this in the film room and from your teammates.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. So let's take a look here at the key inactives. And, Charles, I guess you get this late in the year, you expect to see some guys populating on this list.
You're exactly right. No one's happy about it, but it really shouldn't be a surprise. So the guys who are playing in their spots, in their stead, they have to step up now and make big plays for their team. But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
From the gun on third down, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down.
I know that's their first connection in this game, but you and I both know that Julio Jones is without a doubt his quarterback's favorite target.
Oh, yeah, Matt Ryan loves this guy. And who wouldn't?
Yeah, and the reason that he's that is because of his dependability. And quarterbacks have to have that from their receivers, meaning they know where they're going to be when they're running certain routes. They don't break them on them. They don't change them up and do their own freelance stuff and put their quarterbacks in bad situations. Matt Ryan has ultimate trust in Julio Jones.
On second down, here's Ryan. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up fourth down. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So, of course, they wanted to find the end zone, but when you go on the road and your first drive results in points, I think you're pretty happy.
You have to be, because you've taken it to the home team in this case. And while you may not have shut up the home crowd, you've quieted them down a little bit. Good way to start.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Here's Newton now on second down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. Third down here. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on third. Newton gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They'll come out in the pistol.
Well, we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
Well, he just threw an interception last drive. Nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of difference between driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? Because that's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love them. And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else. End up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
To throw on second, under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They overload him that time of the safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. So now off goes Newton, and on comes the kicker, Graham Gano. This from 44 yards away.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. And Jones has it over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They come out here in the eye. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It goes as a pickup of 23. And it'll be 1st down Atlanta.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The wise move there, looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. 10 yards still left on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Muscles him off. Oh, he's got a little daylight. That one goes for 24 yards.
When big runs occur, sometimes there's a sense that things were pretty easy, and that one carried him down inside the 10. But getting into the end zone now, that won't be easy at all because you're going to face different defenses and not as much real estate to work with. Will they be able to run it, or will they have to throw it in order to try and score?
That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. On 3rd and goal, Ryan. He's got time. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is indeed good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
And heading back out there now, the Falcons defense here. A field goal last time is what they gave up in a close game. All these drives start to feel so critical.
And they are. And, you know, we've met so many defensive coordinators who just really hate the bend but don't break mentality. They're much more of the aggressive school. But that mentality has won a lot of games. If you're only giving up field goals on drives, that usually keeps you in it and gives your offense a chance to retaliate.
Yeah, and right now it's got them with the lead. On 2nd down, here's Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
That was a good, strong run there. And while it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
They come up in an offset eye. Now the big man, this is Andrews. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive linemen and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense.
And that's going to be caught by Funchess for a Carolina touchdown. Devin Funchess with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Panthers are going to jump back in front.
Sometimes when I see these types of plays executed, I think of basketball. Guys boxing other guys off to go out and get a rebound.
And he got the rebound right there. But the defense was really placed well.
Yeah, they were right there. I mean, that's where it's really tough for a defender. When you're in the right spot, you're draped on the guy catching the ball, yet he still comes down with it.
Oh, he shifts past him. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move, to influence the defensive front, to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play. Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now Ryan. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd. So he makes the grab and the change move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
Now Ryan on first down. And over the middle to the tight end, Bennett. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. And he's got Bennett. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You talk about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They go play action here on first down. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons have once again taken the lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
It worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Carolina getting set to take the field. Now Newton caught left side by Funchess.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And it brings up fourth down. On fourth down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. He goes underneath to Freeman. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on third down.
5 defensive backs. Now Ryan. It's caught. Jones. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Throwing now. Ryan on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 3. And it'll be second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. To throw again is Ryan. And over the middle to the tight end, Bennett. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And he spikes it to stop the clock. And now if they choose, they'll have a chance at maybe a long field goal try here just before the break. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And his kick here is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So we've reached halftime here. And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about.
That's caught at the 25. A big play there. Ryan to Jones. 51 yards.
I really don't think that Julio Jones could be happier right now. Plenty of catch opportunities in this game. He's converted them, and his team's winning.
And Matt Ryan's happy, too, to have Julio Jones on the other side of these.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times we talk about breaking teams down, and oftentimes just through a running game.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on second down. They'll run again here with Andrews. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Brooks Reed with a tackle.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game. I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, got the safe completion on third. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Now Ryan on second down. And caught. This is Bennett, the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Well, they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
Holding offense.
Yeah, that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Play action. Ryan. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
Here's Newton. Funches with a catch over the middle. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
3rd and 2, Newton. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? And almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Back-to-back runs that were stacked up. Offensively, now you've got to think to yourself, do we change blocking assignments? Do we change formations? Do we change looks in order to try and get the running game going?
Now it's Ryan. Wide open receiver complete. 17 yards on the pickup there and also a 1st down. They come out here in the eye. The 1st down carry here for Johnson. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And at this stage, down in the 2nd half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
And Newton's going to keep it. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Cam Newton, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Panthers have tied this game up. They can take the lead with the extra point. So with 2nd and goal, still had a couple of downs to work with. They tried the sneak, and they got in.
I like the idea that they did it early in the down and distance count. 2nd down as opposed to waiting later on. I think it fooled them a little bit, but how about the push they got up front to get the quarterback through?
Big push and a touchdown to boot. And here now come the Falcons. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. On second down, Freeman. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. And we're back now in Charlotte. And we've got a dandy here. A one-point game as we begin the fourth. Now a play fake here on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They go play action here. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
He was able to pick up 6 yards there, so that leaves him with a 3rd and 13. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. And they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. Here's Ryan finding time. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
Yeah, it's such a close game, a very big one. To the field, here come the Panthers. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, you know, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Now the big man, this is Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out?
And now the rookie's free. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now you got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
They come out here in the eye. And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
False start, offense.
And on 2nd and 10 now. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Defense maybe trying to guess the snap count there, and it costs them 5 yards. To throw again is Ryan. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. 2nd down, sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on 3rd? We'll see. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
False start, offense.
And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. And here's motion again. And that's going to be 2 in a row.
False start, offense.
And let's see what the defensive coordinator may have up his sleeve here to try to get this final last stand and win this football game. And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
False start, offense.
And following that penalty, the offense really backed up now on 3rd down. And they're going to go soft on the corners. And here is motion again, and that's going to be 2 in a row.
False start, offense.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. 3rd and long, it's Ryan. And that is incomplete. The new acquisition, Martellus Bennett, the intended target. And it's 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And the Panthers coming out now. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Getting late here in the 4th, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On the ground, Andrews again. And he will fight his... And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
And he'll get this one up. The Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's Andy Lee now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. He'll look to throw. And over the middle to the tight end, Bennett. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll look to throw. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they're going to speed things up here. He's back to throw. It's hauled in by Hardy. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Back to throw. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done. And
it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Back to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Now it's Ryan surveying the field. He's going to let it fly. And he's into the end zone. No flags. It's a touchdown. And now a 2-point conversion. And we'll be tied here in the final minute.
Do they have one big call left? Here we go.
So a big play coming for the Falcons as they'll go for 2. To throw for it is Ryan. And no, it falls incomplete. So the two-point conversion, no good. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down one. What's the sense? I like what they did.
They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. They will take the knee here, and they will finish this regular season with a victory. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. And, Charles, I think...
Sugar, just step into your sneakers and step behind the speakers. Your heart will keep me beating and make me a believer. Don't you want me? Don't you want me? I need some mercy on my soul right now. Give me what you got. Oh, oh, oh. Give me what you got. Oh, 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 oh. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care when we're dancing tonight. Just as long as you're there in the break of the light. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care if I'm losing my way. I've been waiting for you as the night fades away. So roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Can I get an amen when the night ends? There's no winner when you're walking alone. Sliding down the last street as the day creeps. What you do with nobody at home? Sugar, just step into your sneakers and step behind the speakers. Your heart will keep me beating and make me a believer. Don't you want me? Don't you want me? I need some mercy on my soul. Come on. Give me what you got. Oh, oh, oh. Give me what you got. Oh, oh, oh. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care when we're dancing tonight. Just as long as you're there in the break of the light. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care if I'm losing my way. I've been waiting for you as the night fades away. So roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Extra touch and pull up, hand in hand for one last touch. Shake extra touch and pull up, hand in hand for one last touch. Shake extra touch and pull up, hand in hand for one last touch. Give me what you got. Oh, 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 oh. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care when we're dancing tonight. Just as long as you're there in the break of the light. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care if I'm losing my way. I've been waiting for you as the night fades away. So roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up,
Weatherman says it's gonna rain. Don't worry, girl, it won't change a thing. Yeah, we still got plans tonight. We're gonna kick it, that's a given, baby, rain and shine. Leave your Sunday best just at home. Be the last time you wear what you got on. Bikini top and cut off jeans. Baby girl, you know you're looking mean. She said, how we gonna make it through the mud hole? Won't you think you got swampers on my truck phone? It's about to get done.